All right, thank you everybody for attending for the breakout session, Jobs and Internship Portals. We have Emma, Program Manager, Career Pathways for Workforce Development, and Nadine from our Student Service Technician, Career Service, and Student Employment. They will be sharing two different portals that are beneficial for our students and for our community. Um, Please use the chat for any questions at the end of the presentation, and feel free to enjoy this session. And let's go with Emma.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're pleased to share this in the panel. And my colleague Nadine Levyfield will be talking about College Central Network, and I will be talking about the Workforce Portal through LAEDC. So what I'd like to do is give you just a tiny bit of history. Next slide, please. And we forged a relationship in strong workforce and a partnership with the Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation and the Center for Competitive Workforce. And actually, we've had a long-term relationship with them, but in this particular project, a workforce portal was created for college students, career education college students. And LAEDC and CCW work with 19 community colleges in Los Angeles and Orange County. They created the Job Force Portal, they maintain it, and they did all the job development. And we'll talk a little bit about some of those jobs. In career education in the community colleges, we are working to prepare students for high demand, high wage job. And we're doing this through workforce training, career exploration activities, and preparing them for four-year universities. And a lofty goal in 2016, California set the goal to create 1 million more middle skilled jobs. And although we're in a pandemic, I think this keeps us hopeful. We are hopeful and motivated because lots of people need jobs right now. Next slide, please. Just a little bit of history about Los Angeles County Economic Corporation. I don't think you can see it, but maybe you can. It says LAEDC's mission is to work with business, education, and government partners to collectively advance opportunity and prosperity for all the residents of the greater Los Angeles region. And LAEDC does this by fostering growth of well-paying jobs in our key industries and by preparing our residents for these opportunities. Next. In collaboration, they are working with the Center for a Competitive Workforce. Now, on the left-hand side on the sidebar, it tells you a little bit about some of the things that they do. Their mission is leading industry and education partnerships to strengthen our region's talent development ecosystem. And some of the things that have been offered by LAEDC and CCW are regional industry councils and regional program advisories. And that has been tremendously helpful to us because it informs us of our work with regard to our curriculum, what are the needs in industry, and what do we need to do to better prepare our students. They also have labor market reports and analysis, and this tells us what jobs are available out in industry and what does our region look like. And the other thing is we have occupational profiles of middle skilled jobs by occupation, the wage, location, and so forth, and the career pathway videos, and finally the workforce and education portal. And this CCW website is open to all. You will find that once we enter into the workforce portal, that it is by password. However, we have a way to work with our students and with our faculty so that they have access to this information. The other thing that I'd like to say is this partnership that was forged is an alignment. We are all aligned to work together to address the needs of the state and regional economies. And we want to fuel this economy and get our students out there and get people working for those higher wages and higher demand jobs. Next. Okay, if you look at the tabs, this is the Center for a Competitive Workforce, and this is actually what it looks like inside the portal. And inside the portal, you can see that there are many different things that they're offering. So the database that we'll be talking about is the internships and the jobs database, but they have the students portal, and basically the students that have accounts and need to register are placed there. They have a new section called Search Jobs that are near your college. And so that's not open yet. The meetings and industry groups. Now that's really important. I don't know if you can actually see the picture in industry groups, but Freddie's picture's right back, he's right in the back on the right-hand side. So he was at that meeting. And basically what that is all the business industries in the various industry sectors. And I'll talk about those industry sectors. And it really provides an opportunity for all of us to do some collaboration, some networking, and some partnership. And it's been a tremendous opportunity for us to work with LAEDC and CCW because they are bringing the business people to our colleges. And when you hear some of the business people that are offering the jobs, you will see that it is very impressive and they work very hard to provide the best for our students. They also have labor market reports, and the labor market reports are open to the public on that sidebar. And that's really important because it helps all of us educators and community members to work more effectively with our constituents and our students and the community. And then the bottom level is not quite as important in a sense, I mean, because it's personal. It just says my organization, so that just tells about GCC. My personal information as an account holder and what I do at the college, and the internship database, which is in development. And I think that's almost up and running because we're going to have a training in October. Okay, next. The Center for the Competitive Workforce, this is the Internship and Job Tab. Now, what you'll see is a list of jobs, and actually what's open on the left-hand side are the industries that are being addressed. So in this regional area, this was chosen by Los Angeles and Orange County educators and by LAEDC, the businesses. And what they've chosen to focus on is digital media and entertainment, of which, yes, we have a lot of jobs available, and global trade and logistics, healthcare services, which is obvious, port-related and advanced transportation, professional and technical services, and biopharmaceuticals and medical devices. And these are the areas in which there are jobs available. And it is pretty surprising because as I look at the job list from actually the Verdugo Job Center, you'll hear from Judith next, there are lots of jobs out there available. When I look into this portal, there are jobs available. And I imagine when Nadine speaks, she will say that there are jobs available as well. And so the jobs do exist. So we're excited to be able to offer this opportunity to our students, our faculty, and to help their students to move in the direction of getting a job or an internship. There are also internships listed. Next. Okay, on this page, on the left-hand side, we have just one job, the film and TV intern. And there are many, many different jobs, as I said, in those various industry sectors. And on the right-hand side, we have the actual job description. Now, I'm just going to give you an example of some of the jobs that actually exist. For example, casting assistant came up, consumer analytics, data scientist, editorial intern, facilities operations, financial planning, game design. And recently I had a student apply for an engineering job and another one apply for a photography internship. Some of the places where these jobs are being offered are at Disney, Universal, Boeing, L3 Harris, hospitals, many, many places, some large corporations, some smaller companies. But what is so exciting about this is these jobs were hand-selected and hand-worked by LAEDC Isabel Duran. She is the administrative manager, and she's basically doing job development work. She has a very strong business relationship with these companies. And what we do is this: when a student shows interest or expresses interest in any of these jobs, then they basically call me, and then I help them to work through setting up an account. And before we can even go forward, the student must have faculty permission to go forward. Because these jobs are really pretty elite for students, and some of them are even permanent at a very high level. And the student must be approved by the faculty member who will say to me, yes, the student has taken the courses that will be able to work on this job and has the skill set to do a good job. And so any student that is actually approved and selected to move forward has the approval of their instructors. And we need to look at their career pathway. We look at what classes have they taken, how did they do in those classes, and is there a match between the classes that they have taken? Did they do well? Do they understand industry software? Are they capable of working on that job? Because as you can well imagine, I mean, all of these jobs that are available require quite a strong skill set, but our students have it because our instructors have done a great job. The students are strong, they're capable, they're really excellent. So it's very exciting to work with the students and to help them to move forward in doing this. And so right now, the other exciting part is that Isabel Duran, the LAEDC manager that I work with, when our student completes the application and submits, I call her and I say the submission has been made. She calls the employer and says this is on its way. And then, you know, I call her every couple of weeks and say, how is that application going? Because the students are anxious, of course. And so she can tell me, and if she can, she calls the manager at the company and discovers, you know, where is that application in the process. So right now, some of the applications that are out, they are either continuing to accept applications from other college students around the 19 colleges in our region, or they are ready to, you know, process them and make a decision as to who they'd like to interview. So this is very well defined portal. It's very well managed and constructed by LAEDC. So we're very grateful for this opportunity to work with them in hand to provide this for our students. Okay, and the last slide. Okay, this is the internship and job, and this is on our career education website at GCC. So this is how a student can discover, or faculty can discover, what the jobs are. If you look to the left, you will see that there are a listing of jobs. And one of our career education counselors updates this list on a weekly or, you know, every couple of weeks. We'll update the list and a student can go to this list and look at the various jobs that are available. The description is not there because, as I said, they need to get faculty approval that they're actually ready to go on that job. But when a student contacts me and says, I'd like to do this particular job, I send out the job description to the student. And if the student says, yes, I am interested, then the next thing that I do is I go to the faculty and I say, is this student ready? And do they have the skill set to perform this job? And then from there, I sit down and I work very closely with the student to make sure that their application is in good order. And I will read over the job description. And if it requires a resume and a cover letter, then I send that student to a career education counselor. And that counselor then works with that student. And then they make submission. And then after that, everything is on its way. I've contacted Isabel Durand at LAEDC. And then we work together until we receive a response. But this is such a great opportunity. It really is. And as I said, especially during these times, it's not easy to get a job. And the process takes a long time. A lot of patience is required from everybody, as you know, in industry and all the people that have been laid off, unfortunately, and our students. And so I have that conversation with our students too, because they are excited and they have a lot of anticipation. But it's a good learning experience for them too, because many of them will say to me, this is the first time I've actually applied for a real job, a professional job, and they're pretty scared. So they need Nadine and myself and career counselors and all of us to jump in and help them, and we're more than happy to do that, and that's what we're here for. And that pretty much concludes my presentation on the job portal that we have. So thank you very much. Nadine, you're on.
All right, thank you so much, Emma. That was really helpful, and I just wanted to share we've had good experiences when students come to me and it turns out they're in career education and there's a perfect opportunity for them, and I send them over to Emma and her team, and we work together to see how we can best support that student with a job or internship opportunity. So this is a really good segue. Emma went over a platform where it's really critical that an instructor signs off on a student's application for a role based on their technical expertise. And today I'm going to talk with you about College Central Network, which is a very open access platform that is accessible and available to all GCC students and alum. So College Central is the official job search platform that partners with GCC. And this is just a screenshot to share with you a little bit about the basics. And basically, two ends of it, okay? So we have a student who comes to us and says, I want to apply for a job, and we encourage them to create an account so that they can have their resume uploaded. We have resume workshops at the Career Center so they can work with us in that capacity and get their resume ready to upload to their account on College Central. And then we have the employer engagement piece, and that's the piece that I'm working closely on. Next slide, please. So I just wanted to show you, this is a dashboard. This is what happens when I log in every day. You can see that we have over 4,000 students, over 3,000 employers, and then we have alumni on there, and then we have a small number of community folks because this is also the technological platform we use for our job fair. So usually every day you can see up at the top there that one employer registration pending. I usually have at least one per day plus job postings. And really what is a great feature of this platform is that real people have to go in and review and assess these postings and the legitimacy. So we're always vetting the employers, and then once we review and sign off on the employer account, then we vet and review the individual job descriptions. And this is really important because it is open access, and obviously we have a lot of folks on here, and we want to make sure that the accuracy and safety of these job postings are going to be a good fit for our students. So a few more things to share. Next slide, please. So I wanted to just take the opportunity to show a little bit about the diversity and range of types of jobs that are posted. So on the left, you'll see an audience and donor relations intern at Antaeus Theater Company here in Glendale. And you know, this is for a summer internship, so they have this flat fee of their salary and the time commitment. And then over on the right, you have an electrical engineering technician for the city of Vernon. And the job description was so long that, of course, I just did a snippet so you could see. But I wanted to kind of really impress upon folks, there's a lot of variety in terms of types of jobs that are being posted here. And particularly now that we're operating in a quarantine scenario, we have folks who are wanting to hire a receptionist at a medical office in Glendale, where, you know, the person who signs on for a job like that would know that there's some risks, and they're, you know, going to be in a front desk situation in a healthcare setting during this time. We've seen remote jobs that are getting posted for an administrative assistant for a law firm, but working remotely right now and getting onboarded and set up in that new role, all virtually, of course. And then, as you can see, we have, you know, a theater company, we have a government role. So I just really want to make it clear, when students come to me and they're looking for jobs and they seem kind of overwhelmed, I want them to know that this portal has so many different opportunities, and there are large national companies on here. There's small mom and pop, you know, bakeries and other small businesses in Glendale. Often folks will contact me directly, and I'll share with them that we have a variety of ways to help them recruit students, but the number one thing we always suggest that they do is sign up for College Central. Next slide, please. So I also wanted to share that earlier this year, we had the opportunity to have GCC join what's called the LA County Community Colleges Jobs Consortium. So College Central partnered with all of the community colleges in the greater LA area, including LACCD and others in surrounding districts, to create a program where an employer can post a job at a particular college that they currently have a relationship with, like employers coming and posting for GCC. And then when they're doing that, they can click a button that says post to the entire consortium. And if they decide to do that, especially now when many roles are remote, it will get posted to this group of about a dozen colleges. So I want to highlight that because I think that that shows the ability that we have right now working remotely to broaden and expand our students' job searches. And I also want to highlight, we have a new workshop that we're debuting this month about job search strategies in difficult times. So we're really trying to think about how to coach and consult with our students about what the changes are and what they need to be prepared for. And the good thing is College Central has been our primary way that we have students connect searching for jobs for years. So they're already accustomed to it and used to it. The differences now, of course, are that many jobs are also remote. But I just, you know, in trying to hire and connect students with good jobs, it is a personal interaction, as Emma mentioned. So, you know, students will come to us and we'll often say, let's take a look at College Central together. Let's open up the search page, and you can zero in based on, you know, zip code if you're looking for an in-person opportunity or type of industry. But also then sitting down with a career counselor or with staff of the Career Center to review their resume and get ready to post it and get ready for the application process. So just wanted to share a little bit about College Central and how it's working for us. And I want to be really clear to all counselors, faculty, anyone on campus, please let your students know that College Central is open and available to them, and that staff of the Career Center is here to help them as they're identifying what jobs may be a fit and how to apply. So that concludes the presentation. Let me actually in the chat just put ahead, it's Glendale, it's collegecentral.com/Glendale. Takes you to the specific Glendale College page, and GCC students can use their student ID to create a free account. Thank you so much.
I have a question.
I'm hearing a question.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for presentation. My question is, as you mentioned, this can be for alumni too, but how about like students that, so it has to be like somebody who has attended GCC, like to be a part of College Center. So let's say a student that only came one semester and then it's just started like university, that wouldn't be eligible to be a part of this, or like it has to be an active student at GCC. Thank you.
ID, they can register. It's definitely something that we want to provide to students who have engaged and participated in the GCC community, even if it was one semester.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.